Hey guys, I was playing around in a 1.17 test world, and I came across this compass, and it said 1.17 release date on it. And I was pointing in a direction, and I figured I might as well go check it out. I mean, what's the harm in that? It's not like it's gonna lead anywhere. But it brought me to this desert temple, and wait, is that a lodestone over there? Yeah, and it has some paper on it. I wonder what could be. They couldn't have just like hid the release date somewhere in the game, could they have? Man, this place seems to have been overgrown with sand or something. Huh. Wait, was that a Sculk sensor? That can't be good. Oh no. No. This seems to have been a trap. Let's see if we can at least get the date. Oh no, it's still summer of 2021. This is a trap. No. No. Oh no, there's spikes. No! Let's show you how I did this, because this was actually more of a spike trap that I had set up to show you guys something cool. There's no actual release date hidden in a area. That was sort of a cool trick to kind of show you how Sculk sensors and pointed dripstone would actually be used together to make a really cool trap that you could use on your friends or your enemies. Let me clean up and I'll show you guys sort of the proof of concept. And you can mod to your liking, because this was actually a really cool trap that I set up. That was a little devious. So this is the redstone behind the trap that I had set up. Let me show you it a little bit more. Basically, we have a Sculk sensor right here that is reading the wall. It's just sent off a new row of that. And then you could send, if you are making this, you can send off the redstone signal however you want. I decided to use more Sculk sensors, and I kind of put little wool surroundings of this because sometimes I had some mobs that went around and would give off false alarms. And with this, it's a pain to set off. So if you do want to set something off like this, I would insulate your Sculk sensors. Either that or only have this one be the trigger. But basically, insulate them. But essentially, I had this, and then it was essentially you'd have this here, and then every 8 you would just do a Sculk sensor. Then I had a way of just triggering the flying machine. What I ended up finding was a flying machine could basically break pointed dripstone, which I can reset this up in just a second. But basically, a flying machine could break pointed dripstone, and in this instance, it was actually a really cool way of having the floor break out one piece at a time. And that cool effect of you just saw the floor break out behind you as you were in the basically as you were in the hallway. And if you had the Sculk sensor further back, you could go that way. The only problem is in a long hallway, you need a lot of pointed dripstone. Not all of this, but yeah, you do need quite a few stacks. And when I was in creative mode, I had to use the fill command to do it, because otherwise it truly is a pain. But you could do it with a smaller grouping of it. To do the drop, you want at least a 13 block drop to kill anyone without armor. It may be more if you want to do a lot more. Further testing is needed. This is sort of a proof of concept video for further testing and further development of these cool traps that we can do with now pointed dripstone and Sculk sensors. Because I mean, the cool thing about these is, yeah, we could do other things with it, but these now make for really cool spike pits for cool traps like that. So let me set up the sand and the spikes, and I can kind of show you a little bit more on that side. So basically what we have is a 14 tall pointed dripstone block with sand on top. And what you could do if you really wanted to make this a little bit better is you could put something like a hopper minecart underneath with a unloader. Would probably be better if you were to do this because this does drop a lot of items. So I would suggest it if you were to do this in your survival world. But what you can then do is you want to have some form of way of the redstone triggering the flying machine. It's basically just a basic flying machine with glass on both sides. And you want this to pass by it completely and then have a return mechanism on the other side. Use something like a dropper or something to trigger it, and you could ignore this. That was just a testing mechanism that I've been using. But basically, the redstone comes down, and I can actually just give this a quick trigger. As it goes down, the device will then continue as it goes and just breaks it systematically, so you get that really, really cool, just systematic breakage. And it then hits the other side and continues on. You could have it where it actually does return with the sand. You don't need a return mechanism, but I do recommend it. And the return mechanism is basically just an observer with some delay that delay puts into a dropper. Simple, easy. But yeah, that's basically how that works. It's slow and it is effective and it looks really cool when it works. The only downside of this is the setup. Because if you're to do this in survival, you have to then place it and continue up, go all the way up here, and then go back down and place it up. And you may have to do it in like rows and do something like that and just continue on with that. I didn't optimize the setup of this. As I said, proof of concept. So I hope you guys like this proof of concept idea. I know this was less of a refined video and more of a idea that I wanted to get out there into the world. I'd like to work with others on this idea. If anyone has any ideas, put them down below. I have some ideas myself, and I'd love to give them a try. There's some other different ways of shifting them and making this easier or making this smaller. I mean, there's a bunch of different devious traps that we can create when you combine the Sculk sensor and the pointed dripstone. There's a bunch of different cool traps that we could use to trick our friends, because I like a little bit of pranking every once in a while to trick my friends here and there. Nothing too major, nothing that will overly destroy my friends, but sometimes you just gotta get your friend back. And you gotta give them a good laugh. But anyways, if you guys enjoy this, please give it a like. If you want to see more of this, please subscribe as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one. And remember, when you're in the digital trails, watch out for digital bears. Or now, traps that you do not see coming. Catch you guys later.